A pair of guys are working on a pier at the start of the story when a train goes by in the middle of the night, spewing smoke from its exhaust. A policeman may be seen staring at nighttime working women inside the Gaiety Girls Club in Gotham City. The proprietor presents Ivy, the plant woman who would eventually be known as Poison Ivy, as the next dancer. As Ivy begins to dance sensually, the audience applauds her. Later, as the guys abruptly order her to remove her clothing, Ivy leaves the club and sees a suspicious-looking man pursuing her. She considered leaving, but then she started to feel at ease in his presence. She started flirting with him after glancing at him and asked if he wanted to stay the night. When he suddenly stabs her, she informs him that her location isn't far. 3 kids are seen attempting to mug an elderly couple as the scene changes. As it happens, they were Tim, Jason, and Dick before they were taken in by the Robins. Tim is about to rob the couple when their boss, Bill, appears out of nowhere and threatens to have the lads follow his orders. They follow Bill out of fear for their life and mug the couple. Dick informs Batman that they are homeless orphans when he arrives and orders them to flee while he beats Bill. He warns them it's pointless because Bill would track them down and make them follow his instructions. Batman tells them it won't happen again and directs them to go to Sister Leslie, a nun who oversees an orphanage. Ivy screams and they hear it from a distance. The unknown guy stabs Ivy till she dies. Then, as if nothing had occurred, he shuts his briefcase and turns to go. When Batman and the lads investigate, it's too late since Ivy has already suffered many knife wounds and the attacker's identity has vanished. Mayor Tolliver revealed their newest bulb in an attempt to discourage crimes in shadowy alleys due to the increase in crime. Harvey Dent attempted a joke, but the mayor went on to show off a gigantic Ferris wheel that he said could compete with the Eiffel Tower. The residents are concerned that the amusement ride may not be safe, but Dr. Hugo Strange reassures them that every safety measure was taken during construction. Selina Kyle, also known as the Catwoman, interrupts the mayor and Dr. Strange when they are persuading the populace of its safety and draws their attention away from the growing number of female homicides. She says their respected police department has done little to curb the amount of women who are being killed. Speaking up, police officer Harvey Bullock expresses his worry and reassures them that the ladies who were killed were only homeless prostitutes. Police Commissioner James Gordon responds by assuring Selina and the other residents that they are looking into the situation and will locate the enigmatic murderer. They learn from Sister Leslie that the murderer goes by Jack the Ripper. It comes out that Jack has emailed the Gotham Gazette his identity and his objectives, alerting everyone to his intents and his desire to murder until he is apprehended. Sister Leslie makes the implication that unless a lady of great prestige is involved, the authorities are not taking the necessary action. Bruce Wayne arrives and breaks up the heated fight between all the parties concerned. Bruce intervenes as police officer Bullock attempts to remove Sister Leslie for her protests. Alfred chauffeurs Bruce, Gordon, and Sister Leslie in a carriage. They talk about the killings that Jack the Ripper has been doing lately. Bruce already knew that Pamela was its most recent victim, but Leslie informs him. Jack has been pursuing Selina ever since she is spotted wandering the streets by herself later that evening. She had, as it turns out, been bait, drawing him into a trap. She walks inside a butcher factory where hooks are used to hang slabs of cow corpses. When Jack confronts Selina, a brawl breaks out between them. Jack defeats Selina, but Batman appears out of nowhere, having followed Selina earlier in the evening. Batman is overcome by Jack, but Selina intervenes to save him. Batman unintentionally triggers the trapdoor, letting Jack get away. Batman has angered Selina by meddling with her trap. It seems he's discovered another target after the abortive effort to apprehend Jack the Ripper. When Police Commissioner Gordon abruptly awakens from the nightmare, he pursues her to a dark alley. Relieved that it was just a dream, he discovers his wife Barbara in the kitchen preparing breakfast after having a dream that she is Jack's target. Gordon steps outdoors to take a break when Batman ambushes him out of nowhere. Gordon is first apprehensive about sharing information, but eventually accepts when Batman suggests it in hopes that it may assist find the murderer more quickly. He nags Batman to never come back to his house, since he's angry that he found him there, but Batman has already left. Bruce is informed by Alfred about his meeting with Harvey Dent at Wayne Manor. Selina was the main performer at the theater where they attended. Harvey says he could be in love with Selina after a stunning performance, but Bruce tells him he's already married. Harvey clarifies that if his wife was unaware, it wouldn't harm her. Afterwards, they go backstage to give Selina praise for an amazing performance. She begins to flirt with them, but Harvey finds that she is more interested in Bruce, which makes him disrespect Selina. He is asked to halt by Bruce so they may continue their evening. Selina receives an invitation from Bruce to the club later on, but there's a catch. It's only for guys. Selina nevertheless succeeded in entering the building disguised as a male. Bruce and Selina were alone. Harvey had already slept off on the sofa. Given that he allowed her in without asking, Selina says the doorman was either blind or afraid of losing his job. They are having a talk when Selina walks in and says he hasn't actually been drinking his booze. She tells him that she saw him pouring it down and that she is certain he was watching her. He acknowledges this. Selina discloses that, like Bruce after his parents died, Sister Leslie reared her as an orphan. Bruce turns to leave, not wanting to discuss it more. An old lady called Marlene met Sister Leslie as she was closing up the orphanage for the night. When Leslie senses a presence, she tries to let her in. She visits the cemetery to investigate. When Bruce gets at the orphanage, he discovers that the gates are closed. Sister Leslie informs Jack that she is ready to die and that she is aware of his identity when he unexpectedly approaches her. Bruce investigates after hearing Sister Leslie scream at the top of her lungs and discovering her dead corpse. Bruce comes to the manor devastated after seeing yet another murder and is unable to stop it, arriving late once again to rescue her. Bruce vanishes out of nowhere as Alfred pours him some alcohol. Afterwards, he finds himself in the Batcave, where he is examining a badge he discovered next to Sister Leslie's corpse at the murder scene. Bruce asserts that, in accordance with his agreement with Gordon, he will provide the findings to the police. In order to attend Sister Leslie's funeral in the morning, Alfred suggests that he get some rest. After the memorial ceremony, Sister Leslie's remains was laid to rest on a wet morning the next day. Dr. Strange approaches Bruce just as he's about to go. It seems from his request that Bruce notify Batman to meet him at Arkham later that night that he is aware of Bruce's relationship with Batman. Dr. Strange believes Bruce knew Batman, even if Bruce attempts to refute his insinuations. Bruce is also confronted by the elderly woman Marlene, who says she saw him the night Leslie was killed and believed he may be Jack the Ripper. He rejects her attempt at blackmail and is shown being hauled away by the cops. Jason attempts to rob Alfred of some food at the manor, but Alfred catches him red-handed. Dick begs him to pardon Jason since all he was motivated by was hunger. Alfred offers them some food and says he could have some employment for them. Later that evening, Jack shows up to Arkham Asylum, where Dr. Strange is waiting calmly for Batman. He welcomed him to Arkham, not realizing at the time that he was Jack. He didn't recognize himself as Jack the Ripper until he took out a knife. As Batman gets there, he hears Dr. Strange screaming. Upon entering, he saw Jack throwing him into the pit containing the insane prisoners. While Strange is being attacked by the prisoners, Jack flees and Batman follows. When the Arkham staff realizes what is happening, they raise the alarm. Jack abandons the pilot inside a balloon in order to flee. Batman pursues him, but as he does so, shots from the Arkham staff are fired at him. Batman chases after the blimp and approaches Jack while bleeding. The airship catches fire as a result of their conflict and falls to the earth. Batman escapes safely, but now he's being pursued by the cops. Batman is being fiercely pursued by the cops, who almost capture him before he takes off his suit. When a carriage comes in front of Bruce, he attempts to blend in with the crowd in order to hide in plain sight. Selina motions for him to enter. Upon entering, they see Bruce and Selina in their underwear, feigning to be in the midst of something. After apologizing for disturbing them, the cops get concerned when they discover more victims. Under a bridge, they discover Marlene's lifeless corpse with her neck cut open. Bruce and Selina were spending the night at a motel the next day when Bruce was unexpectedly arrested by the police. As it happens, Harvey has been assembling evidence against him since they obtained damning proof that he is, in fact, Jack the Ripper. All the evidence goes to Bruce. Marlene was observed extorting money from Bruce. Bruce's badge was found next to Leslie's murder, and Ivy, a recent victim, was raised in the same orphanage. Following a court appearance, Bruce is promptly transported to jail to await his trial. When Selina pays him a visit in jail, she recommends that because he was working on the crime sites, she tell Police Commissioner Gordon that he is Batman. Bruce declines, at which point Selina says she would tell Gordon everything to rescue him if he is unable to save himself. She refused to listen to him when he tried to reason with her. Bruce is so terrified of what Selina could do when she departs that, upon being let out of his cell for supper, he bribes a guard to deliver a message to his butler Alfred. He was won over when Bruce made an offer he couldn't refuse, despite his initial refusal. Bruce, in the meanwhile, watched the other inmates arguing and had an idea. He approaches the largest man in the room in an attempt to start a fight. A jail riot broke out, and Bruce was able to get out. Later, as directed by Alfred, the Robins drop a box, and Batman praises them they did a great job and asks them to come back to Alfred. Later, Batman shows up at Gordon's home, where his wife Barbara welcomes him. She informs him that Gordon isn't present, but Batman unintentionally finds Gordon's hidden chamber and exposes a sinister truth. Gordon has really been Jack the Ripper all along. To protect her spouse, Barbara attempts to assault Batman, but she is unsuccessful. Gordon shows the acid-burned portion of her face on the other side. Gordon fears Selina is in serious danger and goes to locate her after realizing he is the murderer. When Selina gets to the police station, Harvey is already there and has started criticizing her since he is still upset over being rejected. After a while, he informs her that Gordon is near the Ferris wheel. Gordon, who she encounters, identifies himself as Jack the Ripper. She repelled his attempt to murder her for a short while, even though she was injured in the assault. Her blood seems to be a bat signal from a distance as she wipes it on a light and switches it on. Batman gets there just in time to stop Gordon from killing her. Following a fierce battle, Batman binds Gordon to the railing. Gordon came back and lit himself on fire, just as they believed they had finally apprehended the murderer. When Alfred and the boys arrive to assist them as they leave in a carriage, Selina assists Batman. When Batman and Selina turn to gaze behind them, the Ferris wheel's devastation pains them. The story concludes with Bruce and Selina exchanging a grin as Robin says they can always create another one.